welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the live podcast. Don't wait to be great. I'm your host, Derek Forston. Super excited, just like always, guys. I am a little bit tired today, and we'll talk about that. But, guys, thank y'all so much for being here. You guys have a lot of choices of where you could be, but you chose to be here, and we super appreciate that. So, again, my name is Derek Forston. I'm the owner and thought leader of Forster Consultants, and that's my family now, where we go all over the world sharing this concept of this shared housing model. We refer to them as independent living facilities because we actually coined the phrase. So not that just we just called it that, but we literally coined the phrase independent living facility. And again, it's just a shared living environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So every Monday we come here and to make sure that we deliver this model to you all, because again, this model is very different from a traditional group home or a ALF or IDD or any of that stuff that a lot of you guys have been trying to start, but it just takes a lot of stuff to get into it, right? A lot of the oversight from your state, your city, permission from people to get started. And that's what makes the ILF model, guys, a little bit different, right? It's the right now model because it doesn't require the license and the oversight. And probably most important, you don't have to buy the property. I know for certain that's what stopped me for many years, right? So I used to be a social worker many years ago, barely making ends meet, making 28 grand a year, right? And I love that job as a social worker, but I always wanted to do something more, right? Right. Most of you are probably like that. You always felt like you should be doing something more. And I always wanted to be involved in real estate. I always knew rich people and well-to-do people and wealthy people that they were usually involved in real estate. And God is so genius because I don't take the credit. God just allowed me to see a vision that involved real estate and social services together. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the absolute right place. Because again, this is a shared living environment that we'll be talking about tonight. And tonight's topic just happened to be, how do we earn from this ILF model? So as long as we've been around, there are still people that kind of quite still don't understand how this works. We'll get that phrase every now and again that people will say, well, Derek, if you housing homeless people, bro, like how you guys get paid? But they don't understand that we're housing people that receive a guaranteed income. And even though they get a guaranteed income through SSI, SSDI, or some government stipend or a job, sometimes, guys, it's just still hard to find a place to live, right? Some of us got full-time jobs, right? And I'm housing people right now that have a full-time job, they have a nice car, but they can't afford their own house, their own apartment. So this is kind of like that step down and that stepping stone to where they're going. Hopefully, they've set a goal. I want all of my clients to somehow set some kind of goal that maybe I'm not just the last stop, but I also have the understanding that I will be housing some people that they don't have a plan A and a plan B and a plan C and nothing to kind of bounce back on. They don't have any further goals outside of living under my housing. And I'm absolutely okay with that. So I understand that in one breath, I'm gonna have some people that's gonna come to me, but they're gonna do what I'll call graduate. So when people leave my program, they don't just leave, right? When we call that, they graduated. Because more than likely, if you left my place, and this is a shared living environment, independent living, you probably went to go get your own apartment or your own house. More than likely, in the line of work that I do, these people are going to probably go and get their own apartment, right? So that way they have their own space, because everybody doesn't want to live in this shared living environment. That's another thing that we also teach. Some people have to because of the way life has kind of thrown certain things at them, right? I house a lot of people that this wasn't their plan, right? They didn't want to be in some shared living environment, but life happened. And sometimes you just need a stepping stone to where you're going. So the really smart people, man, they get a plan together, they budget better, right? Because as an ILF operator, guys, the lights, the water, the cable, the Wi-Fi, the security system, all that's on me. My tenants or my residents pay a one-time set fee. So I'm kind of known as that one-stop shop. So again, if you just joined us again, we're talking about independent living facilities, better known as a shared living environment. No license required. You don't have to own the property. And to make sure you're getting the right people, don't forget, guys, we have an assessment workshop tomorrow, right? So people that maybe can't quite afford the one-on-one coaching, or people that just maybe only want that part of it, we have a workshop tomorrow, guys, that's only $97. It's the cheat code, right? We're going to be going line for line of the exact assessment that we use, right? To make sure that we're serving the right person. Because guess who ran a clown show in the beginning? Because I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. I was bringing in the wrong people. I just wanted to help. right? I was like most of you all that are trying to get into this. Y'all just want to help people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also want you guys to be serving the right people and not be housing folks that's going to give you a headache and be breaking the rules and not following your structure. So again, an independent living facility is just a shared living environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So if you haven't joined our free ILF Academy, make sure you do that. That's an absolute free Facebook group. And again, it's called the ILF Academy, and it's absolutely free. We want you guys to join that. And also, I got a couple questions that are already kind of queued up, and one of them is kind of sort of where I was going anyway. So when they talk about, well, what does it look like? This is kind of like that shared environment, but this is a private room. So notice how I'm still using the term shared environment because they're still going to share the living room, the dining room, the eating area, the refrigerator, the freezer, the thermostat, right? They're sharing everything, but this guy may want his own private room. So this is that military veteran or the guy that has the job that says, Derek, I don't want no shared room, bro. I'm a grown man, Derek. I ain't sharing no room, Derek. No problem. We also have private and private suites, right? So this private room right here may just be the bed by itself, but this room may have a bathroom in it, right? So as you guys can see, kind of bagged up in the bathroom, but this room is kind of what we call that suite. It's got its own setting, but it's also got its own bathroom, and this guy don't have to share. So even though he's in a shared living environment, that bathroom is his. He don't have to share that. He's still going to share the refrigerator, the freezer, and everything else in all the common areas. And some of our folks are now going to like the private refrigerators, and they're allowing that now. But most people that we're going to be housing, guys, they're going to be in an environment that looks like this. It's that 2 people per room. That's the model that fits most people in terms of what they can afford, right? And it's just also what they're used to, right? So when I get the question, well, Derek, why would somebody want to live in an environment like this where they can't afford their own apartment? They can't afford their own house. They can't afford first, last, and security deposit. They don't make 3 times the regular rental rate, right? So this is where we come in with this shared living environment where I'm known as, again, as that one-stop shop. So again, this is kind of got ministry tied to it. So because Derek didn't say it, but the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us. So this is ministry and real estate and social services and the love of God all mixed into one. The genius part about it, that again, it doesn't require a license. Even me as the social worker for all of those years, over 9 years, guys, I was a social worker trying to get into this. And I just had no clue that you could do a version of this that didn't require the license and the state oversight and spending all those thousands of dollars and getting a sprinkler system and all of that stuff. I just simply didn't know. Now, one thing I really, really didn't know is even as the social worker, because that's one thing to be a social worker and the other thing to be on the other side of this. And now you're housing the people yourself. So I'll admit, in the beginning, guys, I had a clown show. I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. I just wanted to help people. So anybody that called my phone, I moved them in. And guys, that was a mistake, right? So today we teach you guys how to do the proper assessment. So tomorrow, guys, and again, for only $97, tomorrow's workshop is going to be over 90 minutes long. I'm giving you all the actual assessment, and we're going to go line for line in terms of what are we asking, what are we looking for in response. And I like to say it this way: how do we avoid the knucklehead? That may sound harsh, but guys, my prayer for all of y'all is that when you start this, I don't want you housing people that's dodging the rent, ducking and dodging paying you your rent when you house them in this nice environment. I don't want you housing people that's doing drugs and alcohol and sneaking girls through the window. Like all of these things that are against our rules. So my prayer is that you guys are housing people that are praying every night, God, I need a clean and a safe place to live. And God, I can't afford my own apartment. God, I sure can't buy no house. But God, there is somebody out there that'll rent a room to me. They got these ILFs and these shared places. God, can you send me a great landlord? Guys, that's the guy I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the guy that when time to pay rent, oh, he ducking and dodging us. I want to house the guy that is so grateful to be in this environment. He almost can't believe that I'm going to house him in something so nice. Because remember, most of the people I'm housing, they coming from the street. They're coming from couch surfing, from couch to couch, family to family. They don't really have their own place. So again, when you guys start your own shared housing program, Like, you're going to become a saint to a lot of people that are praying for this. We often like to say it like this: your blessing is tied into somebody else needing this. Because guess what? Both of y'all praying. You guys are on this channel. Y'all praying that God change your life. Just like I was praying for 9 years. Dummy me, I was the social worker in the middle of this and still didn't get it. Knucklehead. But lucky for you guys got me. So can you imagine being able to do God's will, help people, doing what God asked you to do, and be paid for it? Now, I hope you guys don't feel guilty about that, but that's the whole thing that we live by. I want to please God. I want to help people. I want to be respected by my community. But guys, I also want y'all to make enough money to feed your family. That's what we live by. Because God also said that if we build the kingdom, because this is ministry, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to have a microphone in a pulpit in your own church. You start housing people, because God said it's like when you helping these kind of people, it's the least of thee, as he said in the Bible. God said it's almost like you're doing a favor unto me. And I always tell people, boy, can you imagine doing a favor for God? Well, that's called being on the right side of right. Two of y'all put amen in the chat if you down with that. If you guys want to live by this, because this is what me and my whole family live by. And if you agree with this, just put amen in the chat. I want you guys to please God, help people, be respected by your community. And y'all, I'll admit, I want y'all to make a bunch of money doing it. Because God also said that if we put all of our plans before us, if we put God's ideas before us, God's commandments before us, seek ye first the kingdom and all of his righteousness. God said, help my people. Guys, if you do that, he said, all of these things, that's the stuff you want, will be added unto you. Boy, that's a pretty sweet deal. I don't care who you are, whether you believe in God or not. Boy, that's a pretty sweet deal. God said, just do what I'm asking you to do by helping my people. The poor will always be among you, Derek. Somebody always gonna need a stepping stone. Somebody helped me years ago. Every one of you in here have been helped by somebody sometime in your life. So I say that to make nobody feel bad about it. I've been helped so many times in my life. That's why I do this. I simply do this because, guys, people have helped me so much in life. And also, I made a promise to God. I said, God, if you help me, God, I'll go all over the world sharing this and I'll never take any credit. Never. So that's what I do. I teach this 3 days a week for absolutely free. We got coaching plans and products and all of that. But I say, God, if you let me get in this and leave my job making 28 grand a year, God showed me a lady, y'all, that was making $41,000 a month doing this, but she was housing people in rats and roaches. The devil is a liar. Right? So that's all it took for me, y'all. Right? Like, it took for me to see somebody do this the wrong way and say, wow, man, like, how can I put my own spin on this and change it? Change the way homeless people are being viewed and change the way they live it. And can I involve it and also call it ministry? Because not Derek, but the Bible says the poor will always be among you. Why not involve real estate in it? Some people are going to try to feed these folks. Some people are going to try to clothe them. Guys, I'm going to start with housing, because if I can get housing right, everything else that I'm trying to do going to fall into place. And that's exactly, again, what we're doing tomorrow. So even though I'm here Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday every week, almost religiously, guys, we got a special workshop tomorrow that this kind of coaching would normally only be in our ILF Mastery Blueprint. But guys, we're giving y'all the assessment workshop tomorrow for only $97. So if you text the word workshop, text the word workshop, my team will send you the information, a way to pay and secure your seat and all of that. But essentially, guys, the assessment is one of the top 4 things that I always tell people what makes us successful. Guys, I'm no genius. I barely finished high school. My wife tricked me to go to college. And through the grace of God, he introduced me to a lady that was making 41 G's a month doing this. But she was doing it in rats and roaches and mistreating people. I was like, wow, God, I make 28 grand a year. Can you get me in this? So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is a no-brainer. Because again, there's no requirements. You don't have to own the property. There's no license required from your state or your city, because of the people we're housing. And this is, again, for the Peters family, you all asked this. Derek, how can you do this without a license? Because the people I'm housing don't need my help to cook their bologna sandwich. I don't have to drive them to the doctor's appointments, and I don't prescribe or administer medications. Guys, that's the cheat code to this whole thing. I always tell people, like, if you forget everything else that I said today, and when you want to go share this with your pastor, your homeboy, your homegirl, your business partner, your associates, just say, man, y'all, I heard this guy Derek talking about you can house people and there's no license required because he's not giving medications. He's not feeding people, and he's not driving people around in an 8-passenger van. Those are the things that's going to get you in trouble. Or you just need to be licensed as a traditional group home or an ALF. No problem. Guys, I wanted to get in this and I didn't want all of that oversight. Now, I have nothing like bad to say about group homes because it's got its place and it's needed. But I'm for the guy that said, Derek, I want to start this tomorrow. Derek, I don't want to go through all that paperwork. Derek, I don't want to ask for permission. Derek, I sure don't want a $30,000 sprinkler system. Derek for the people. I'm for that guy. In fact, 5 of y'all put in the chat, that's me. Like if you want to skip all of that stuff that tends to make people have to go through so much, I'm gonna call rigmarole, jumping through a lot of red tape. If you want to skip that, and if you love God, love people, and love real estate, and you want to dodge that license, because what we tell people is be like Miss Francesca Dawson, who we also taught this to. But guess what Frankie did after she got 3 of these ILFs? She now went and got one that's licensed. And y'all, it took her 3 years to get it open. Lord have mercy. Most of y'all, you're just like me. Y'all ain't got patience to wait 3 years to get that place open. Guys, I'll admit, I don't have patience. 3 years? Not that I don't have the grit and the grind, but when I can see this shared housing model with which I'm housing independent adults, why would I want to start something different? Why not start this now like Miss Francesca did and now go get the licensed place? Right? So again, that's kind of how we guide our people, that anybody that wants our coaching, they'll say, well, Derek, I still have it on my heart to get a license place. We say, no problem. Derek is not here telling you, because somebody gonna hear this today and say, man, Derek said, man, he don't like group homes. Derek said you should never start a group home. Derek didn't say that. Derek said, if you want to start right now, Derek said, if you want to get in the game right now without permission from your state and all these hula hoops you got to jump through, this is the shared housing environment. We just happened to coin the phrase and we trademarked it, independent living facility. Guys, like, we trademarked that. Independent living facility, that's ours. But I always tell people, because I'm just like this, who cares what you call it? Most importantly, I want you to put your own name on it. I'm Second Chance Housing. Now, my coaching will tell you don't use the word housing, but I started mine years ago and I didn't know that. So end your name in solutions or enterprise or consultants, and we can talk about that later. My coaching clients know that. That's why none of them have the word housing in their name. Right, Tiffany? Katara? Right, Angela? Right? So it's a lot of y'all in here, right? So we don't use that. So again, guys, I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to check the chat. Thank y'all so much for being here too. I'm going to answer some of these questions that I have coming from actually both ways. I'm streaming in a few different places. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and I'll answer any questions that you guys have. And I have a little bit more information. I'll be here for probably about another 30 minutes or so, and then I'm going to get out of here. But you guys stay tuned and I'll be right back. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. All right. So thank y'all so much for being here. I super appreciate that. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here. Also, don't forget, if you are new, we have an absolute new gift for new people. So if you're new, just text the phrase new. That's the only word, N-E-W. If you text that to 407-326-0086, I'll actually send you something for free, right? It's our brand new ebook that I wrote. But this is also, if you're new to us, I also want you to text the phrase more info. That's going to give you our introductory webinar, which breaks all of this down, what we're talking about today. But even more importantly, it gives you a phone call with me and my team to talk about how can we get you started, and are we a good fit for you to get you started. Again, you guys can text more info to get the introductory webinar and that free discovery call. But also, if you're brand new to us, text the word new to that same phone number, and I want to give you guys an absolute free gift. Okay. Now, who's ready to resign from their job like me? So many years ago, guys, I couldn't wait to do that. So I'm going to jump back into it real quick. Also, I want to give a big shout out to PowerStream Solutions, which is my newest baby. I started that company, guys, to help some of my current clients that I'm housing to kind of make some money and be active and do some work. So it's a pressure washing company. And I had on my vision board for many years. Not only do I want to house people, but I also want to be able to give them jobs eventually. And I told myself that once I kind of built this consulting business up to kind of the point of where I wanted it, that I would always get back into pressure washing. So for people that know me, I did this many years ago, full time, a long time before I discovered real estate and housing the homeless. But I always said that I would bring it back, and now it's got more of a meaning to it. So I'm super excited that, man, we had a big job today, and I was able to train two of my military veterans, and one of them we actually got a lot of footage of. So I'm super excited to be able to share that. I want you guys to follow us at PowerStream Solutions on Facebook. I'm also going to be dropping some other information about that for in terms of, I don't think my team did the Instagram page yet, but I would appreciate any love or likes at PowerStream Solutions on Facebook. That's our newest company. It's a pressure washing company that I'll be training and teaching these military veterans that I'm housing, and also be able to give them some work. So just like I tell you guys, man, once you master the art of housing people, now you can start adding extra things in terms of, like, how can you keep them busy? My saying is keep them busy, keep them out of trouble. And these guys, they're begging me for work. So this is nothing that I'm kind of forcing on them. Most of my guys, Derek, I'm bored. Derek, I need something to do. So I always said, man, once I got this consulting business up, and I put 5 years into this to get it to where it is today. But I'm absolutely excited about it. And today we had a big job, and you guys are going to be seeing footage that we'll be posting of me and one of my military veterans, the guys that I'm housing, and he loves it. So I'm super excited about that. So again, follow us at PowerStream Solutions, and the website is powerstreamsolutions.biz. So big shout out to my team, all of my VAs, my wife, Shay. Shay was a big part of building my website. So you guys go and check that out. But back to the regular scheduled program, right? Today's topic is, again, Derek, how do we earn from this ILF model? When I get that question, usually it comes from people that are like super new to us, and I can tell it because when they ask this, they'll say things that, well, Derek, if these people are homeless, well, how they get paid? Glad you asked. But before I get there, I'm going to show you the models that kind of we have in this one model. So even though that this is the ILF model, a shared living environment, there's actually 3 different ways that a person can be housed in this model. One is the shared housing, which is the most common, meaning 2 people per room. That next one, guys, is a private room. That means 1 bed. He does not have a roommate, but he still shares the hallway bathroom. The private suite means they got their own bathroom. So they're a little privileged at that point. That means that's probably, for me, somebody that's got either a really high income of that SSDI, they have a job, or they're a military veteran. Most of my guys that get SSI or that are super conservative, they don't want no private room. They don't want to put all of their check, as they would call it, on where they're living. They rather have that money for extracurricular activities during the month. But we got a lot of people that say, Derek, I'm not sharing no room, man. And that's when we say no problem. We also have private and private suites. Right here is one of the first ways that we get paid, SSI and SSDI. Don't forget, again, guys, tomorrow, 7 p.m., all you got to do is just text the word workshop to that same number, and you'll get the information and to be able to secure your seat. To, again, even before this get paid thing, how do we assess and get the right client? Tomorrow, 7 p.m. on Zoom, text the word workshop to that phone number, 407-326-0086. But SSI, ladies and gentlemen, is how probably 90 to 95% of my payments come in. Even though these people are homeless, some of them on the street, some of them going from house to house, like family to family, guys, they still get this guaranteed income. But they don't know that something like this exists. So that's why when you get in the game and not try to get a group home or an ALF that's going to take you 3 years. You can get into this within 3 months, 3 weeks. We've seen people do it in 7 days. So it's all depending on how you grind and how you get down, as they say. But the quickest person to date that has started this from day one of my coaching is like 9 days. But a lot of people do this, guys, within 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. I've seen everything. Again, we have nothing to do with that kind of. Most of the time, it's how the person's built up in terms of what they're going to put in it. A lot of people I coach have full-time jobs. So obviously, you can't put you all in it. Like some of my people that say, Derek, I don't have no job. Derek, I got 6 hours a day to put into this. No problem. Those people start actually kind of faster. But again, back into how these clients get paid and fill these beds. And as a direct example, in Orlando, Florida, where I am, these beds are $740 a piece. And that's where we're taking people from homeless to hopeful. $740 a piece. You can do the math on what each room brings me, whether that's a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, or 4-bedroom. Or like one of my larger homes that's got 7 bedrooms in it. Or if you're like Miss Pierre and her family, they just got this large house. Big shout out to a lot of you all too, man, that just got your property within the last week. Every one of you guys are under our coaching. So big congratulations. Miss Deltree, South Carolina, just built her house in less than 11 days of getting the keys to it, right? She's close to a college. Miss Tia in Polk County, Florida, big congratulations. Just rehabbed her house. She owns the place. Tia is a lot different from most of y'all that I'll ever coach. Tia and Deltree both actually, they own their houses. Most of y'all gonna be like me and Katara and Eklina. We're gonna rent these places. So big shout out to Katara, who's got another house. Big shout out to and Katara's in South Carolina. Nicole in New York, big shout out to you. Just got your 4-bedroom house. Rita and Ken just got another one. And Eklina, I think I said her in Orlando. Big shout out to all of you all. This is what they're doing, y'all. They're putting 2 people per room. Now, Nicole is thinking about going all privates. Nicole is in New York. Nicole's prices look nothing like mine. And Nicole, if you're here, just wave your hand and tell everybody who you are and what's the name of your program. Nicole's probably going to get like $1,350 a bed where she lives at, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't dream of numbers like that. But again, back to the SSI and SSDI, they're getting this because of either mental health, physical health, or they're getting SSDI, Tiffany, because they got a job or had a job years ago at Walmart, years ago as a school teacher, years ago as the maintenance guy at JCPenney's. But when he retired, he gets that SSI, but also that SSDI because he used to have a job. My people that get SSI, they probably never worked a day in their life. Maybe because of mental health, maybe because of physical health. But just to answer the questions from the Peters family, SSI and SSDI, and that's a government stipend that they get every month without fail. Nothing stops it. And we get that on the 1st or the 3rd. Some of my clients get it on every 3rd Wednesday of the month. Magna, good to see you. Miss Pierre, they just got their house. Miss Pierre, if you could do me a favor, just put in the chat where you're located and what's the name of your program. Show people what it looks like to be under our coach in less than 6 weeks and got a house already and moved into tenant the same day you got the keys on the 15th. She's in South Florida. So Miss Pierre, if you don't mind, put all of that in the chat and just be an encouragement to somebody. Tiffany, I think I just saw you in here from Oklahoma. Tell the people who you are, right? What's the name of your program, right? Doing great. Eklina, there she is. Eklina's in Orlando by me. Big shout out to Eklina's got a 4-bed, 2-bath home. Beautiful pictures. You guys need to put in the chat like where you're located because there's a lot of HRA people in here, housing referral agencies. Who wants to refer to Miss Pierre? Who wants to refer to Thalina Senior Independent Living? Who wants to refer into Miss Tia and get paid a referral fee? That's why we teach you guys, you don't need a house to do this. If you got a willingness to make friends with Miss Tia, Miss Pierre, Tiffany, there's a bunch of people in here. Katara, my other lady from South Carolina, you guys can be housing referral agencies. We teach that for free also on a free webinar that's only 14 minutes long. You get that by just texting more info to that same phone number, 407-326-0086. Text the phrase more info. That's it. MOREINFO. You'll get 2 webinars, the one to be the ILF operator, and then one said, Derek, I want to start right now, whether I have a house or not. And now you can refer into people. You can give me referrals and I'll pay you. Ask Angela Brooks how fast I zailed her about 2 weeks ago. Angela, if I'm lying, call me a liar in the chat, Angela, and show everybody I'm lying on live. But Angela, did you send me a guy and tell them how fast I paid you live on YouTube? And if I'm lying, Angela gonna tell y'all because she ain't a liar. Now I'm moving on. The next way that we also get paid and you guys are going to get paid is, I just talked about it, it's that SSDI. They're kind of the same. Most of my SSI guys get paid on the first. SSDI guys, they're going to get paid on the third. Private pay is one that we're seeing more of now. We're housing that guy or that lady that says, Derek, man, I just need you for 3 to 8 months, Derek, and I'm going to get on my feet. And Derek, I'm getting the heck out your place and get my own apartment. No problem. Because guys, I want to be a stepping stone for a lot of these people. Remember, guys, I'm doing God's will through real estate. How cool is this? If you think this is pretty cool, because when I first started, I was only housing the bipolar guy, schizophrenia, mental health clients, because that's just my love, right? That's where I worked at. That's what my degree is in. But guess what? In these last 12 to 26 months, we've been housing the everyday guy that's got a job, and y'all working with the guy, and y'all don't even know it. He homeless, sleeping in his car. When y'all clock out, you go home. So right now is a great time to say, God, I thank you for a roof over my head. I don't care where you live. If you got a roof over your head right now, pause for 3 seconds and say, God, I thank you for having a roof over my head, even if it's not really where you want to be. Say you want to move from where you're at to something else. You still got a roof over your head. People that call my phone at Second Chance Housing, most of them, they don't have anywhere to go, y'all. So we do an assessment to see if they'll be a good fit. We're teaching that tomorrow at 7 p.m. Text the word workshop. But guys, we're housing now the everyday Joe that works 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Got a job, y'all. Guys, this was not who I was housing when I first started. It was all mental health people. But now today, man, I house the everyday Joe. There's nothing wrong with him physically or mentally. Just fell on hard times. Just need a stepping stone to where he's going. You know how good that should make you all feel, that when you become a stepping stone to where somebody's trying to go? Somebody type in the chat, that's me. Like, I want to be a stepping stone for somebody. Owner Solutions didn't exist just 4 weeks ago. Miss Pierre heard me on YouTube, been praying to God that this is what she wanted to do, ran into us. That wasn't a coincidence. Taking the coaching, and in less than 6 weeks, got a house already and a business and a virtual assistant and a whole family's in it now. That's crazy, y'all. But that's God, and that's great coaching. Because don't get it twisted. God is in control over all of this. God first, Forster Consultants next. Because we tell you all the time what our success and kind of how it lies and why we're so successful. God first, virtual assistants next. Because we believe in them VAs, y'all. For $5 an hour to do everything that you need while you at your job, that's a cheat code. Softwares and systems, and the proper assessment to make sure that we're serving the right person. Guys, if you can do that, that again is what makes the ILF model, I hate to say it, but pretty easy. And when you're dealing with people, trust me, it ain't easy. So don't nobody take away that this can be, oh my God, this is so easy. But when you got the right coaching and the right clients, guys, I got a houses that I'll admit I don't frequent that much because they run so well with the people that are there, it runs itself. Now, in the beginning, is it like that? No. You got to kind of pick and choose and get the right people, and you got to kick 2 or 3 people out, discharge 2 or 3 people for breaking rules. You replace people. But boy, once you get that mix of them 6, 7, them 8 people that get along like family and like brothers and sisters, oh my God. Now you got something powerful, and now you can scale and get another one and another one and another one. How you think that we're in over 380 of these ILFs throughout 33 states now? Not because we're so great. It's because the need is so great, and God is all over this thing. God is crazy about us, and he's allowed me to go through the bumps and the bruises and the lawsuits in the Channel 8 News to get it all right, to now be able to give it to you all. Ever heard of that scripture, write the vision and make it plain? Sometimes that means, Derek, go through the bumps and bruises, but Derek, when you get it right, you come back and teach it to everybody else. And Derek, don't take credit. Give me the credit. God. That's why I tell y'all guys all the time, I ain't the smartest guy in the classroom, but when God goes and he blow on it, man, this thing is genius, y'all. Because again, we're doing what God is telling us to do. We just chose the route of real estate to do it in. Remember, the Bible says, not Derek, and guys, I'm not a preacher, I'm no pastor, I'm no bishop, I'm none of that stuff. But guess what? I'm like most of y'all because I love God, I love people, and I love real estate. That's me. And God has allowed us to help people through real estate. Because if you get the housing part right, everything else can just simply happen. We just talked about private pay, the guy that's got a job. Now, I'll admit, this is one of probably my favorite ways to be paid, you all. And I'm getting ready to close, Miss Angela, like them Baptist preachers say. So if you guys got any questions, I'm going to try to stop running my big mouth at about 6:42. After that, I'm going to try to stay to at least probably 7 o'clock to answer any questions that you all may have. But again, I'm explaining today how you can run your own independent living facility model or shared housing, or even better, put your own name on it. Think of a name and put solutions or enterprise on the end of it, or group or project. Don't use the word housing. There's some free coaching. I didn't know better when I started. So when I learned better, everybody under me, their name ends in solutions. Why you think owner solutions is in there? So even a cleaner put Darlena Senior Independent Living, nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Just don't put real estate, housing, none of that stuff. None of that kind of lets people know that we're involved in real estate. Be generic as you can. But right here again is my favorite way to be paid, because these people don't have no money. But because they met a certain criteria from the hospital that I'm getting them from, or the social service agency, the program is going to pay me. So it's called a community funded program. And that's usually, again, guys, I'll be honest, that's just called um uh um a grant by the time the hospital gets it. So for us, it's called a community funded program, but it goes to the hospital as a grant. They call you, gonna be, hey, Miss Pierre, how's it going? Great. I saw you on Facebook and you guys look like y'all open up a beautiful place. I got 3 clients that I want you to assess today to see if they'll be a good fit for your place. What time can you meet me here at my hospital to interview my clients? Oh, and by the way, Miss Pierre, these 3 clients don't have any money. Miss Pierre gonna go, but Miss Pierre's under my coaching, y'all. So she know that there's hospitals that will pay the rent. So now Miss Pierre just gonna keep listening and say, okay, but Miss Pierre, they met certain criteria through our hospital. We're going to pay the rent up to 6 months until we get them approved for SSI or SSDI, or till they find a job at McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's the call from the hospital, y'all. I'm giving it to y'all live. Miss Pierre, I'm going to give you some of your coaching that you will get anyway, but I'm going to let other people be able to hear it. Miss Pierre, everybody that call your phone will not have money. They're just going to see your post on Instagram and say, oh, I'm going to call Owner Solutions. Maybe they'll house me for free. We would love to, but we just can't. But Miss Pierre, you're going to get a call that sounds like the one I just gave you. Hi, Miss Pierre. I see that you guys represent Owner Solutions and you guys take people from homeless to hopeful. I got 3 clients. I got 1 client. And guess what? He's a military veteran, but he don't get any of that kind of pay that them veterans get. But we have a community funded grant. And Miss Pierre, we're going to pay his rent for 6 months. What do you charge? Miss Pierre, just to show the people what you charge down south in Miami, put your feet in the chat if you do, if you feel comfortable with that, Miss Pierre. She's family to me now because she's under our coaching. But if you feel comfortable, answer that question in the chat, because I want other people to see what we're talking about, because that's what it sounds like. And guys, that's why I love community funded programs, because they're going to write the check, y'all. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? The community funded program is not dependent on the client to have the money. Miss Angela, am I coming through clear, Angela, or am I like, is my volume blocked? Can I get 3 of y'all to put some hearts in the chat if that's pretty cool, that you can help somebody that don't have an Uncle Joe? He don't have an Auntie Sarah. He don't get SSI and SSDI. The first two things I told you guys was SSI and SSDI. He don't got private pay because he couldn't get a job at Popeyes. McDonald's wasn't hiring, Tiffany. He didn't qualify to stock shelves at Walmart. But Lord have mercy, thank God for that community-funded program that said, Miss Tiffany, no problem. Oh, Miss Tiffany, you represent Good Samaritan Solutions? Oh, this sounds like a great program. Miss Tiffany, my guy Bobby Clayton, he don't have no money, but he's a great guy, and we're going to take care of it for 6 months, Miss Tiffany. And Miss Tiffany, the goal is we're going to get him approved for SSI or SSDI or Tiffany. If he finds a job at Bojangles first, see, some of y'all ain't even got a Bojangles where y'all live at. Tiffany, Tiffany probably ain't got no Bojangles, Katara. See, me and Katara down south, like. Tiffany probably don't have a Bojangles. Tiffany, he probably didn't get a job at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A paying people $19 to $21 an hour now, Tiffany. But he didn't get it. But thank God for when he went to the hospital, Miss Tia. Tia, you got a hospital down there where you live in a Polk County called Bridges. If Bridges call you, Miss Tia, and say, Miss Tia, I got this guy named Robert Johnston. And Tia, boy, he's a good guy. But Tia, Lord bless him, he don't get SSI, Tia. He didn't get approved for SSDI. And Tia, he can't seem to find a job. But Miss Tia, because of our program community grant, Miss Tia, we going to pay his rent for 3 months. Tia, notice how your grant was a little bit shorter than Tiffany's was. Because all of them ain't 6 months. Y'all, I'm giving y'all some good coaching, boy. I hope y'all appreciate this. A lot of people won't just come on here and teach it like this. Now, Tiffany, Katara, Tia, all these people I'm calling out, they actually got my coaching. We family. Tiffany said they got a Bobo's chicken. Tiffany, don't you make me bust in here today. Now, is that a real place, Tiffany? Because I don't know. I don't know if Tiffany being funny or is that a real place? And y'all, I'm going to be honest. I ate a bacon sandwich this morning and I haven't ate since. So if I seem a little hysterical, Shay downstairs cooking and actually having a meeting at the same time. So that's why I said I'm out of here in probably 15 minutes because y'all, we work hard today and we got the footage to prove it. But again, I hope y'all appreciate, if you're new to us, because my regular people just know this, but if you new to us, just shout it out in the chat. I want to know if any new people are here right now. And I know that I'm streaming in so many different places that I may not see it all, but I got my eyes on the YouTube. If you're on our YouTube channel right now and you're new to us, just let me know. And don't forget, we also got that free gift. And let me know if you guys are enjoying this teaching. Because that last 8 minutes of what I just talked about, that's usually only in my regular coaching, right? But I always love to make sure that I'm giving value. And again, that community funded program, I'll admit again, that's my favorite way to be paid, y'all. You know, I laugh and I joke and we play around. But this community funded program, guys, allows me to house the guy or the lady that, man, he just don't have it. He don't have all those other external things that we talked about, the job, the family, the SSI. So that grant allows me to house that guy, man. He don't have to worry about it. He need to only focus on now getting approved, right? To actually get those funds or to find a job. And that's what the social worker is going to help him do. Does that make sense, everybody? Give me 3 of y'all that say, yes, Derek, that makes sense. Okay. So Tiffany said it's smoked, fried, and drizzled in honey. Whoa. Okay. I like how that sound right there, just simply because you said it was smoked. Wow. Okay. I actually, now I'm gonna go way off topic for 2 seconds since we just talking about food. I barbecued the other day, right? And I barbecued some wings. And that's usual. Like you guys have leftovers, right? The next day, guys, I put the wings in the air fryer. Oh my God. Guys, that was I'm gonna call it a mistake. I was only doing it to kind of just warm them up. But the smokiness from the grill and then the crispiness of how it made the chicken, I was like, man, I could start a restaurant doing this. Like, this is crazy. And y'all know how I am. Like, I'll think of a business idea in a minute. But Tiffany, like, that sounds kind of like what Tiffany's saying. So again, y'all, we usually house the homeless in a disc space, but I'm talking about food for 2 seconds. And Tiffany says heaven. And I can imagine because I just kind of did something similar. Y'all, I barbecued some wings, no sauce, seasoned them real good, and put them on the grill. Smoked them, came out beautiful. But the next day, I put that same, the flats and the drums in the air fryer, and oh my God, Katara, the way it crisped it back up, and it was actually more like, oh, I said, oh my God, and it's got the smoke flavor. Like in my mind, the two textures didn't match. It was crispy, but it was smoked. Anyway, see, I'm getting hungry now because I told you I ain't ate since breakfast, y'all. It's almost 6:45. So Tiffany said, boy, they drizzle honey on that thing. Now, see, Shay like that. Shay and I got this ongoing joke where she likes sweet chicken. So anything that we get in, if there's an option for it to be kind of sweet and savory, Shay love that stuff. Anyway, thank y'all for entertaining me on that for 2 seconds. I'm gonna remove this real quick. I think I got 2 questions, but I just want to ask one more time. Is there any questions, any concerns about anything that I've talked about so far? Also, I don't want you guys to forget that workshop tomorrow, 7 p.m., guys. And all you got to do is text the word workshop. And don't forget, if you're an IMB member, you guys don't pay for this. Y'all get spoiled and you get everything that we ever offer. Don't ever forget that. So if you're an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, you just show up, right? So make sure that you text the word workshop too. So IMB people, they're going to probably send it to y'all anyway. So y'all don't have to do that. But for everybody else, that workshop is $97 and it's outside of this kind of good coaching. That's usually only allowed in my ILF Mastery Blueprint. But again, I want to make sure that I'm giving a lot of people value because we're running into a lot of people, y'all, that actually have the house already. And that's why we also developed that other downgrade, not even a downgrade. We have another ILF Mastery Blueprint now. And I told y'all by Monday, I would have the name. I'm still working on it, y'all. I'm not struggling, but I just want to make sure the name is right because everybody knows us for the ILF Mastery Blueprint for the crazy price of $7,500. That's a long way from that 15 grand. But the one for $3 grand, I'm trying to figure the name out. I want it to be just right. And I'll admit that one is actually catered to a lot of people that actually have the property already and may not need a lot of the stuff that we removed from that original package. So again, guys, I'm gonna go over that also really quickly in terms of the ILF Mastery Blueprint and what's involved. And I'm also going to answer any questions or concerns that you guys have before I leave here. Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forsterconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forsterconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show. To it. And again, man, if you guys enjoyed this, man, just imagine what the one-on-one coaching is like if we kind of just give this freely. So just really quickly, I want to show everybody what's involved in the ILF Mastery Blueprint. This package usually, guys, goes for 15 grand, but for probably 6 months now at least, we've been offering this scholarship that brings it down to 7,500. And again, the newest one is 3 grand, and I'll break all of those down. So for right now, you guys forget about that 15 grand. What you're seeing now is the ILF Mastery Blueprint. That's what a lot of people in this room right now who I've been kind of calling out and joking with, that's what all of them have, right? And some of them paid the 15 grand. So they should be a little jealous of how it is now, but that's just how it is. And that's how time goes. But again, the ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, involves everything. We should actually call this a business in a box, really, because your website and your logo is built by me. Well, excuse me, my digital marketing team. I don't build nothing. So God blessed us with our own digital marketing team, guys, called Digital Flow Solutions. So your logo, your branding, and your website is all built by our team with your direction, though, your color scheme, your logo, and what you choose. Most importantly, you get the one-on-one coaching. Now, if I was just to stop right there, that's still worth the 7,500. Just the fact that I'm going to give you your branding, your website, your CRM, and we're going to build your logo and give you the one-on-one coaching. But just like those infomercials, and there's more. So every product that I've ever created in terms of an ebook, a course, a curriculum, you get it. Remember, you just heard me talk about even the workshop tomorrow that everybody else pays $97 for. IMB members just come to that stuff. They don't pay for anything extra once they've bought the ILF Mastery Blueprint. So every ebook, every course, the ILF 101, even my newest book, and that's not even on this slide, but How to Avoid the ILF Fiasco, the 15 dumbest mistakes I ever made. That book is a free gift now just by you texting the word new to 407-326-0086. Brand new book, absolutely free on me. The HRA is the Housing Referral Agency. That's what most of you all are going to start at. I don't care if you have a house or you don't. You can start making money tomorrow when you watch this HRA course, because I got empty beds right now in Orlando and Kissimmee. And again, ask Angela Brooks how fast I'll pay you if you send me a great guy. I love it because everybody wins. I win because I get a great client. You win because I'm going to pay you for it. And the client wins, most importantly, because he's no longer homeless because we provided the housing through your phone call. So make sure that you guys understand the HRA. There's a free webinar. Again, the webinar is free just by texting more info to the same phone number, 407-326-0086. So all the SOPs, the transcripts, the email templates, the phone script, because remember, I give you guys a virtual assistant for free with this package. You give the SOPs to your VA guys. Also, if you're a part of the VA 101 private community, I dropped the gym in there today for anybody that doesn't have an apparel store. You should have one by the end of this week because I gave you the instruction and your VA is going to do all the work and it's free. Don't cost you no money. Okay. The ebook of how to get the property, the role play of how to get the property, the medication management sheet, just to understand it. Don't give out meds, but I want you to understand what these meds do and how they'll calm your clients down and how should they work with your client. And another big cheat code, guys, is this virtual assistant. We give you a complimentary VA, guys, and the only thing you're responsible for is that $5 an hour that you got to pay that VA. And then every VIP community core group, we give it to you. So the VIP community, we put you in it. The HRA community, we put you in it. And most importantly, the ILF Mastery Blueprint, we put you in it. That right there, guys, is $7,500. And right here, the only difference that is not in the $3,000. So for people that's asking, well, Derek, what is the one for the $3,000? Guys, the only thing that we took out of that is the time frame, meaning this is a 6-month program at 3 months, right? And even though the IMB people, their contract says 6 months, Tiffany joined us 3 years ago and she's still hanging around. Katara joined us 4 years ago, still hanging around. Angela, not as long, well over 6 months, still hanging around, right? So our coaching for the IMB, we say for life, because as long as you're doing it and you're active and you need us, we're there. But what I also love about it, and I didn't mention this, is that our business coaching is also involved in this. So everybody that we teach this game to, and they get good at it, what's next? What's the next business? What's the next LLC? And that's what we're also here for, to guide you in your next thing. And that's what a lot of our IMB people talk about now, these other investments in these other businesses. Because I'm looking forward to teach people a pressure washing business that now that I'm back in it, right? So again, the only difference again is time frame. The HRA is not involved in it as well. So all of the contents of the HRA is not involved in it, and the logo is not involved in it. But everything else, the website is still involved. We're just not building the logo. But you can add it as an upcharge if you wanted it. This is just asking the questions of what's not involved in it. You still get me as your one-on-one coach. Call me 5 days a week, 50 times a day if that's what you need. Okay? All these ebooks, all these courses, that's still involved. We don't remove none of that. Now, the HRA, none of the HRA is involved in it. Okay? Not the SOPs, the phone, but if you want it, it can still be upgraded. And the virtual assistant is also not involved in the $3,000 price, but can be upgraded like $297. So they make it crazy even on that, because the VA by itself, guys, is $697. So if you can say, Derek, I want the one for $3,000, but Derek, I do want that VA. Instead of you paying $697, you get that bump up at only like $297. So again, those are the differences between the ILF Mastery Blueprint and then the newest one for $3,000 that I haven't kind of named yet. So y'all bear with me with the name. I apologize for not having it. That's usually something that I wouldn't even do or advertise until it was. But because the people wanted to know about it and they wanted, I didn't want to hold back. So yes, you heard me right. Our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, is $7,500 like always. But if you said, Derek, I'd rather get the one for $3,000 because I don't need the VA right now. I don't need you to build my logo. I can go to Fiverr. And Derek, I don't need the HRA. Then I'll admit the $3,000 one is much better. And just again, be focused and ready because it's 6 months versus you kind of tied to me for life. Okay. So if that fits you guys, let us know. In fact, I want to do something special because I'm tired. It's been a long day and I want to bless somebody. If you're on here and you want either one of those, I'm going to apply an additional scholarship. I won't say live what it is, but if you want either one of those, just text to this phone number. And I'm actually put this up. I want to be a blessing today. Text that phone number right there on 3K or the 7,500. You just let me know which one. Just text your name, 3K, or your name and 7,500, and then I'm personally going to add another discount on top of it, only for the people that are hearing this right now and that are in this room. So, and if you're new, now if you're new to us in the last, just say 30 to 60 days, you get that same deal. Okay. Other than that, let me check the chat one more time. I want to make sure that I answer everybody's questions. And also, let's take a quick break. Hey, what's going on, family? Are you somebody that needs some help in your life or your business? Are you somebody that has a lot of ideas, but you can't quite get them out? You probably need a virtual assistant, guys. And again, at $5 an hour, that's an absolute cheat code for you, your life, your family, and your business. Because oftentimes these virtual assistants, guys, can do a lot of what we can't. And they often come with a bachelor or a master's degree. So when it comes to the educational side of it, guys, these VAs are, again, the cheat code to everything that you're probably looking for. Most of you guys have a full-time job, so it's hard to kind of implement a lot of the ideas that God is giving you or the ideas that are in your heart. You should be visiting va101.co to get a virtual assistant that can help you in your life and your business and get some of these ideas out of your brain onto paper and then to implementation. One more time, visit va101.co, not .com, but va101.co, and get a virtual assistant, guys, for $5 an hour. It's the cheat code, and it'll be the best decision that you ever made. I promise. All right, good stuff. And somebody asked about the do-it-yourself version. Yes, we have that too. And what kind of was changed with that, and lucky for the person that asked, because they wanted it back then about 6 weeks ago, but that's also changed. So instead of that being $24.97, guys, our do-it-yourself version is actually only $9.97. So that's another cheat code. Now that's everything, but without me as the actual coach. So again, it's only $9.97, and it just doesn't involve me as the coach, and the VA is also not involved in it. But all the paperwork, all the documents, the curriculum, even the MSI group coaching, there's this thing that I usually do quarterly. It's called Move at the Speed of Instruction. So we call it MSI group coaching. It's literally like 5 weeks of what I would normally give my ILF Mastery Blueprint members. What they get for life, I crammed that into 5 weeks and we recorded it. So it's kind of like, instead of getting a 4-year degree, you go to college for only 2 years instead of 4 years, but you get everything, but it's so much. That's what that is. That's actually inside of the do-it-yourself version. So you get still me, but you just don't get me live. So the MSI group coaching, guys, is just, even that alone, because we used to sell that by itself for $9.97. That alone is worth $9.97. But the fact that we still build your website, you still get all the documents, right? So that's just crazy. So again, the do-it-yourself version, meaning you get all of that stuff again without me as your one-on-one coach, that's only $9.97. Okay. And then the Peterson family asks for the QR code. There it is right there. Don't forget, again, if you guys do want the ILF Mastery Blueprint at 7,500 or the one at $3,000, let me know, right, by texting that phone number, and then I'm going to apply an additional scholarship to it just to be a blessing to people tonight. So if you're hearing this tonight and you're new, you get this. My team will probably take this down probably by Wednesday if they want to keep it to just the new people and who heard it tonight. So I hope that's a blessing for you all. Let me see. I think I answered all the questions. Yes, Tia, the ICC people, that's a separate group that we started about 3-4 months ago, probably 3 months ago. You guys are also invited to that, Tia. Yeah, so ICC people got the same rights as my IMB folks. I spoiled y'all too. So yes, Tia. Oh, Tia, and you reminded me too. I need to send you that replay. Do me a favor, Tia, because I'll probably forget, especially tonight because I'm tired. Tara will send it to you though. Email Tara at admin@forsterconsultants.com. Tara's at admin, ADMIN at forsterconsultants.com. Tell Tara to send you the replay of that last workshop that we did. And then I'm going to tell Tara to send you all the invite for tomorrow night's workshop. Remember, tomorrow night, guys, 7 p.m., I'm literally giving y'all the game on the assessment of how we make sure that we're choosing the right people, serving the right avatar, and avoiding the knucklehead. Remember, I want y'all serving great people, good people, not entitled people, people that want to break rules and dodge paying rent. Like, no. And we find all of that out, guys, through the assessment. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to do that for the client, but also how do you assess the case manager too. In fact, that was not a part of that. Somebody remind me of that tomorrow. I'll throw that in because some of y'all don't know that. Some of y'all think that you are only asking the client questions. No, I'm assessing the social worker too because they know more about Bobby than you do. So yeah, somebody remind me of that tomorrow in that workshop. And guys, it's only $97, right? And that's something that would only be inside of the ILF Mastery Blueprint. But I'm giving y'all the game on this, and I'm only charging $97, and we're going to give y'all the actual assessment that we use. And we're going to go line for line of what we're asking, why we're asking it, right? And what we're looking for in a response, and things that they may say that may rule them out. So again, guys, the assessment to make sure we get, because again, when people say with Derek, what make y'all so successful? God first, virtual assistants next, these VAs, software and systems, which means for us, digitalflowsolutions.net, and the assessment to make sure that we're serving the right person. Because if you don't, this is going to be a clown show. Ask me how I know. Guys, I ran a clown show for a couple weeks, a few months when I first started. I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. I just housed anybody that called our phone. But again, that's not how this is done. Also, I hope that you guys got a clear understanding again of how we get paid. The title tonight was How to Earn from the ILF Model. So again, if you missed it or if you just joined us, check out the replay. We went through strategically on how we get paid, what the source is, how we get it. And I went 8 minutes again, probably deeper than I probably should on a YouTube live. But congratulations, you guys can get that. And again, if you're new to us, please text the phrase more info to that phone number that's on your screen. That's going to give you our introductory webinar, but also an opportunity to speak to us for free on a discovery call, free of charge. Other than that, I'm $4.50 an hour, and I don't want to do y'all like that. If you new, text that phrase, watch the webinar, let's talk for free and talk about how can we get you started. Make sense? And then again, if the ILF Mastery Blueprint matches you in terms of what you want, you guys scan that. I'm going to knock something off of it. Or if the one for $3,000 is more enticing because you're already at a certain level and you may only need me for 6 months, definitely do the one for $3,000. Okay. Other than that, man, I super appreciate you all. Y'all have a great night. And because the workshop is tomorrow, there is no live tomorrow. My team will probably play something that'll probably be recorded that we did a few weeks ago. But just to keep it real with y'all, there will not be a live tomorrow because the workshop actually starts at 7 p.m. So I'm going to put a lot of effort and time into that. So again, one more time, no live tomorrow. Other than that, every Monday and Tuesday at 6, every Saturday at 10 a.m. This is Eastern time. And again, if you haven't joined the ILF Academy, that's free. Make sure you join that. So again, follow us at ILF Academy. Follow us also at Second Chance Housing on Facebook and Instagram. That's my personal independent living facilities. And definitely follow us at Forster Consultants in terms of where do we teach this from? That's where we teach it from, and that's what you guys are hearing tonight. And yes, again, to the Peterson family, the ILF Mastery Blueprint, yes, that's one-on-one coaching. right? So literally what you're getting tonight, you get that with me and you on the phone or on video calls. So, and my coaching is very intense. Ask anybody here, and you probably saw that tonight. So again, thank y'all so much. I super appreciate it. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask a thing, according to the power that worketh in us. Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown tonight. Thank you for the ability to give what you gave me. And Father God, tonight, allow by your Holy Spirit to bring all of this information back to their remembrance. But God, most importantly, allow them to put their hands to the plow and do it. And God, help them open up every door of resources that you have for them. Open up the resource for people and also real estate. And God, allow these people to merge it all together. Because God, all this is real estate, social services, and the love of God mixed into one. So God, thank you for allowing us and your people to do your will again through real estate. And again, the devil is under their feet and has no place in their life, their business, or their family. And again, God, we give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And God, we take no credit. And again, God, it's because of you, because you said the poor and needy will always be among us. So God, allow us to help these people. And God, allow us to be able to avoid the knucklehead. God, give us the people that are praying and crying every night for a great place to live. And God, today, activate these people to be able to offer that housing. And God, from the top of their head to the soles of their feet, these people are healed, delivered, and set free. Because God, it's hard to do your will if our body isn't able. So God, give us an able body today and give us the mind of Christ again to do your will through real estate. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. Amen. Amen. If y'all believe that, put in the chat, amen. And we'll see you guys Saturday at 10 a.m. But I hope that you guys are joining the workshop. And again, if you want to join the workshop, guys, that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. on Zoom. And all you have to do is text the phrase workshop to 407-326 0086. And one last time, because they're asking for it, you guys text the word workshop. Also text the word more info, right? But do it separately because I want you to have both of those. But text the word workshop to 407-326 0086. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't wait to be great. And we'll see you guys Saturday for the ones that are not joining us tomorrow at the workshop at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we'll see you guys then. If you've ever had a dream to house the homeless or the displaced or to start your own housing program, but the barrier for you was actually getting the real estate to do it in, we got something that's almost even better for you. And it's called the HRA, Business in a Box. The HRA allows you to be a housing referral agency to where you still can house the homeless and the displaced and start a housing program, but it doesn't require the real estate. You don't have to buy it, lease it, or rent it. You're going to leverage other people that actually have the real estate and then make a referral fee. So we want to give you more information about that. We have a 14-minute free webinar that breaks the HRA down. So no more an excuse of not having the house to do it or not being able to buy or rent or lease a house. Because if God is putting your heart to start this program, start it. So step number 1, get an LLC and brand it, right? Step number 2, start getting the word out about who you are and what you do and that you offer housing. And again, after watching the HRA webinar, consider the HRA Business in a Box, because in that will be everything that you need to start your own housing program. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying this information. But just in case if you was wondering, how could you get more one-on-one coaching just like this? First of all, you can ask just by typing it in the chat, or you can visit forstonconsultants.com/IMB. Again, the IMB stands for ILF Mastery Blueprint. So again, if you want one-on-one coaching, let us know. This is exactly what we do. And again, don't spend all your time in this room today without asking questions. As you see, we're giving out a lot of great information. So make sure you ask your questions just to make sure that you fully understand it. And then also don't forget, we give you guys a free strategy call. So we want you to watch our webinar. That's it. Also at forsterconsultants.com/webinars, but also soak up a lot of this information that we're giving you guys on YouTube, and then schedule a free strategy call so that we can get on the phone to talk about how fast can we get you started. Let's get back to the show. So Dennis, in this independent living facility model, right, which y'all call ILFs, what kind of residents can I house in this kind of model? David, that's a great question. And that's actually what makes the ILF model so great, is because it's flexible. So prime example, you can house military veterans, elderly adults, women that are escaping domestic violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So Dennis, where do you get your residents from? I see you guys on TikTok and Facebook, you guys getting all of these houses. Like, where in the world are you getting these people from? Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Forster Consultants teaches us to use social media such as Instagram, Facebook, to let people know who we are, what we do, but probably most importantly, who do we serve? And we do that very consistently. So every day, 7 days a week, there's something being posted about what we do and who we serve, but also building relationships with social workers and case managers. Again, letting them know who we are, what we do, and most importantly with them, that we're available. Dennis, how in the world are you able to do this without a license, bro? David, remember the reason why we don't need a license, because remember, the clients that we serve, they're independent. So that means that they can take their own medications, they can provide their own transportation, and they can cook and provide their own food. Dennis, man, you seem to know a lot about this independent living stuff, man. How do you know so much? Well, first of all, I graduated from Forster Consultants University, and I have a master's degree in independent living facilities. And I join the Forster crew every Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. They go live, and that guy Derek, man, he give the game away. So I'm always there. So Dennis, what in the world are the requirements to get started with something like this? The only requirement for this, David, is a big heart for God, his people, and the love for real estate. That's it. And bro, don't think I ain't listening, because I am listening. But where can I find more information like this at, man? Because I really want to get started, man. David, if I were you, I'd follow Derek Forston on Facebook and TikTok, and then I'd follow Forston Consultants on everything else in terms of Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Again, really slowly, David, because you're hard-headed. I'd follow Derek Forston at Facebook on his personal page. I'd follow him on TikTok, but I will also follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget, David. Hey, Dennis, man, I really appreciate that, man. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to do. I'm going to follow Forster Consultants on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. No problem, David. That's actually what I'm here for. And by the way,